Hello everyone, welcome to this playthrough for Pro Division in the Metro Open Tournament. This video here is sponsored by Gold Clash and Playdemic. So let's go. We're going to start off with hole number 1. Have in mind that there is no one in the game except for the game makers that has been playing from the second tee. So this is new for each and every one. I hope I'm going to be able to explain as good as possible for you here. So we're going to start off by going directly over to the right. I'm going to use a Titan ball, and as you can see, I'm using my little guest account so we get lower leveled clubs. So an extra my level 5, and we're going to adjust around 3 rings when it comes to 7.4 max backspin and max side spin to the right, because we do want to go directly over instead of having to curl it and bounce it before. The risk that we do take if we try to go before the rough and try to bounce it over the rough is that we potentially, with the curl that we are needed to use, could put ourselves to be stuck in the rough. So we get it over there with the backspin and also with the side spin, which in this case now will put us up for a nice shot with our long iron with the almost straight tailwind, which is always going to be good. So when it comes to this playthrough, you can check down in the video description to take a look at the direct timestamp. So if you don't want to watch hole number 1, you can skip that, go directly to hole number 7 or whatever hole you might want to. Do not forget to subscribe here to the channel for more content. You can see this is the last day for us here in Greece, and so the last morning. After this, I'm going to go out to the beach and have an amazing time before the plane goes during the evening. So second shot, now we're going to play with the backbone level 7, and we're going to play in minimum distance. Because I don't have the backspin on our club, then I don't want to go directly over the rough. I do need more backspin and then the backspin I have on the backbone to be able to go over directly when it comes to the rough. Have in mind the extended ball guideline with the tailwind here, and we're going to adjust the backbone from this position, like minimum distance plus a little bit 3 rings, and we're going to let the ball just bounce before the rough, following the fairway that slopes down to the left to let it roll nice and easy towards the pin. So take a look at this roll and roll, and we're getting very, very close. So there you do have hole number 1. Have in mind that the drive there, I do play that one 10% extra due to downhill. And when it comes to 10% extra, or when I say take away 10%, it means that you need to add 10% to your ring adjustment. So let's say, we can take an easy example. Let's say you would be having 5 miles per hour in wind. 10% of 5 miles per hour is going to be 0.5 miles per hour, which means that you are adjusting for 5.5 miles per hour instead of 5. That is because the wind is going to affect your ball more, and then you need to add more to your adjustment there, and there you have the explanation there. So first shot here, this is kind of interesting. We're going to be in between clubs, so what to do now? We're going to remove, and we're going to take a navigator instead, which has wind resistance as the same as the Titan, but has only power 1 instead of power 3. Still, we're going to come in very hot here due to having the 7 miles per hour in tailwind. So this is going to be a very, very tricky course. We're going to adjust down to minimum distance, so 3.2 around. We should be going with like 3.5 with 10% extra on this one as well, because we're playing downhill. So we're basically adjusting for 7.7 miles per hour. Slightly under power this one, but as you can see, we're coming in hot, coming in nicely towards the pin, but we're coming in hot, which means that we're going to miss that one by bouncing on the pin directly there. So the thing to have in mind for hole number 2, we're going to add 10% to our adjustment due to downhill. We're going to have to play with a ball with less power, or we will have to play with a long iron. Let's say the Goliath that do have more distance than the backbone, so we can play with a power 3 and with a long iron for maximum distance. But if you want to play with a wood club, you need to reduce the power. Then you need to play with either like a power 1 or a power 0 ball. Like ultimate, it would be like, let's say you would be having a wind 4, wind 5 ball. that combined with a power 1 or power 0 would make it not be in between clubs for you. So, hole number 3, this is a par 5 and we're going to add 10% to this shot as well due to playing downhill. So the ball is going to be affected more by the wind. So we're going to take a look at our shot. Take a look at the shot here. We do have 7.1, which is going to be 7.8.9 in wind. We're going to have to adjust for, which means that we're going to take a gamble here and go max overpower. Worst case scenario here, if we cut the rough and roll out on the fairway, we're going to have a big dog which is going to have the top spin combined with the distance to be able to reach for the green in 2. Go max overpower, important here to hit it perfect. The thing here for us is, if we do have a berserker to spare, then we can play with a berserker instead, then we easily would be reaching over the fairway. Max side spin, max top spin to the right, sorry, max top spin and max curl to the left. And now we did cut the rough, but now it doesn't really matter, we're still going to be able to reach because we're picking the right club. On this particular shot, particular course, it's very important that you pick the right club. So you're going to have to pick the big dog as your second club, or you maybe have a cataclysm in a lower level. So pick one of them and then you're going to be able to reach for the green anyway. So you can see our opponent here is having the Viper level 9. Even with the tailwind that he or she's having, it's going to be it's going to be not possible to reach for the green. Then you need to lay up, and laying up here when it slows down to the right, you are higher up than the pin are. Very tough approach to the pin to get the correct numbers here. So we are going to go because, like, if we say like this, let's say we would be going max topspin here and go over the rough. That would put us in the rough behind the pin. So we kind of need to mixture here with that. We are going to take away the topspin and we're going to play with only side spin, but also with more overpower, because then we can control it more when we don't have that much tailwind. So we're going to go max overpower with this shot, even with 6.1. But you can see we do have a lot of room if we just stay away from the bunker there, and then we get this ball to go over towards the green on either on the fringe or on the fairway. Now we do hit it good. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. But as you see, we're reaching far. We could almost go with like 1-2 bars of backspin actually when we reach that far. But from this position, we have no problem to ship it in for an eagle. So it's very important there for you that you think about that. So instead of using a lot of topspin, because then you can use less overpower, then you need to go with overpower instead of topspin, because you don't want your ball to roll that far. So now we're going to play hole number 4, and hole number 4 is going to play downhill as well, and we're going to add, due to the elevations, we're going to add 10%. So again, we make it easy for us to add that to the miles per hour, and we're going to take a look at one we have. So the thing you can do here is kind of two things. You can either decide you can play with your wood club short, like and bounce, like as our opponent is doing already there, and risk the bunkers there, or you can go a little bit higher up on the fairway and play with a wood club there as well. Or you can play with a driver like the rocket and put yourself and aim on the beginning of the on the end of the fairway just before the green. We're going to play with the guardian here, and have in mind this is guardian level 2, so we do have a limited set up of clubs, and like for say we don't have that much distance with the guardian, so 1 bar of backspin, max side spin to the right, and we're going to aim at this position here, adding 10% extra to our adjustment. So we're going to play this one 2.5 rings, and then we're going to hit it perfect. And as you can see here, we're going to get a nice and good bounce here, coming in maybe a tiny bit too hot, but as you can see, we are getting very, very close. So you do have different options here when it comes to hole number 4. So we're going to jump in directly for hole number 5. Hole number 5, we're going to play directly over to the right. And directly over to the right is going to mean that you're going to bounce with as much topspin as you do have, uh, combined with as much side spin to the right as well. So, and as you can see here, 6.1, I'm going to add 10% extra to our adjustment here. Uh, so as you can see here, we do want to go as far as possible here on this fairway. So, and that will be the same for same for our opponent here. So he's going to go directly there over the water again. I think that is important because now you can actually go very aggressive line towards the pin. We're actually going to go straight at the pin with our thorn. So So we're going to add here 6.8. We're going to play with 2 bars of backspin, and then we're going to go straight at the pin. Playing it as it is very important. So we're adding the ring numbers here for and hitting it perfect. As you can see, 2 bars of backspin coming in very nicely, but getting it very close. So let's go to hole number 6, another par 5 here, and we're going to play directly over to the left. Our opponent is going to start. We're going to add 10% directly to our adjustment here. So we're going to take a look. So our opponent goes into the rough, and it's our turn now for hole number 6. And we're going to go with the Titan ball, and we're going to go max topspin, max side spin. I'm going to go 10% extra to the adjustment here, and we're going to get the ball to bounce over here. 6.1 from max distance. Important, with 10% extra would give us almost so we get it over there nice and easy. Getting it over there nice and easy. I'm going to go directly onto the green here now. So we're going to take a chance here while going with a lot of curl. I think that is very important when it comes to going for the pin here. So, okay, we're going to go on the right side, minimum distance of our club. We're going to go with the big dog. We do have a lot of curl when it comes to the big dog. Kind of looking uh, for a way that it might not going to have to curl it big time on the right. So we're going to go with max side spin, 3.5 bar of backspin, and then we're going to then we're going to try to bounce over there. We're just cutting the rough here, and then of course we are not going to be able to get this ball to stop there the on the green. So we're going to have to just um, get that ball and wedge it in for an eagle. So sorry, hole number 7 now, and we're going to go here and try to get this eagle. I think this is one of the easier ones that we do have. So we're going to go on the right side here. We're going to lay up, and we are going to try to get ourselves in a position where we do need to where we do and have to bounce under the trees that we do have before the green. And when it comes to our turn here now, we're going to have the big topper. The reason I'm having big topper is not because it's the best club in this situation. It's because we didn't know the wind going into this hole, so I was kind of gambling a little bit here, because with a little bit of tailwind I would try to put myself on the left side of the trees, trying to roll past, and for that instance have an open shot towards the pin. So we're going to go what can I say? We're going to go with the minimum distance of our club. We're also adding 10% to this adjustment because it's playing downhill. But as you can see, we won the bar of backspin. We're coming in almost too hot. And I would suggest that you use a driver with at least 2 to 4 bars of backspin so you can make that ball stop. So you can see here, the trees that we do have here is the ones that we are not afraid of, but that we do want to stay away from. And our opponent here is trying, of course, with the rough iron to go as good as possible from that distance. This is kind of not maybe the worst case scenario, but almost. Amongst the trees there is very, very hard to even go towards the pin. We're going to play under the trees, as you can see. Like, if we would be bouncing over, we would be having the trees in our way, and that would be very tough. Max side spin to the left, and we're going to go 1 bar of backspin here. From this adjustment here, I do add, I do not add anything, but that is a mistake. We should be adding 10% to this adjust. So we would be adjusting for 7.7, but now we are adjusting for 7 miles per hour instead. And here, just going to try to hit this shot perfect, but we do hit it great. But as you can see, we are still going to miss to the left of the pin, and that is because we are under adjusting our shot. So we go to hole number 8. Hole number 8, the last par 3 here. We're going to play with a wood club, and we're going to play in some tailwind. And that is, of course, not the easiest way. I'm going to play with the big dog, but you can play with basically whatever wood club you might have. Sniper would be the best, in my opinion, if you do have it in at least level 7. Then it would be definitely the best club, because it could, with the ball guideline, be an easy way for you to get to the green in one. So So now we're going to go with the big dog here. Max backspin, and also just 1 bar of side spin to the right, because we're still going to have the wind that is going to push us a little bit there to the right. So we are going to go with 2.5 rings here with our adjustment. We are not in max distance of our club, but still we're going to add to our adjustment. You can hear me say that on basically every single shot, every single like startup shot we're going to add. We're coming in nicely, but getting this little extra roll that is not like good. So I would suggest that you pick a club that do have a little bit more backspin than we have on the big dog. So last but not least, we're going to play hole number 1, and this is also going to be the hole where the drive and the second shot, we are not going to add anything when it comes to elevation. So we're going to just play this one just as it is. So our opponent is going to play on the right side, and the right side is, in my opinion, the wrong way to play, because that will, in every case, not make it able for what can I say? Not making it able for us to go to the green. So we're going to go with a kingmaker here because we do want the side spin, not for the first shot but for the second shot. Max backspin 2.5 bar, because we want to control the shot. And then we're going to go and adjust this one for, let's say, 2 rings approximately, with it without adding anything extra. We do hit great on slightly on the left, but we end up nicely here on the top. So we're going to have to what can I say, we're going to have to get as close to the top there as possible to be able to make it happen. So now we are going to have a situation where we absolutely is going to be able to get close to the green, and that is something that I think is very important to have in mind, that we can get it close, but if you overplay it, you are definitely going to put yourself in the rough or in the bunker. Our opponent here, due to the position he or she was in, it's not going to be possible to reach directly towards the green. And you can see we can't either. We do have the big dog level 5, and that is a low level big dog. And we're going to try to just bounce on the right side. They're trying to use the side spin and the top spin there to bounce over the rough and let the ball slide down nicely towards the pin. I'm not looking at this as getting this one directly to the green, but I'm looking at this one as to just bouncing it over here to land this one nicely close towards the pin. So from this distance we do have a wedge that is a tiny bit of uphill, but definitely possible to make. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the playthrough for Pro and for Pro Division in the Metro Open Tournament. All these holes are new. They haven't been played from the second tee before, which is the first now in the tournament. So I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. Please let me know if you do have any question of any of the holes. Also, when it comes to the channel, do not forget to subscribe so you do get the latest content from us here at Team Tommy. So we're going to wedge this one in and end it up with an eagle. This video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and I would like here in the end to wish you the best of luck in the Metro Open Tournament. Boom!